Why does a broken heart feel like a physical wound? Why can the silence of loneliness throb in the chest as sharply as a burn? Science tells us the brain often can't tell the difference between emotional pain and physical pain. Philosophy suggests this isn't an accident. It reveals something profound about being human. We often think of pain as a simple alarm, a message from an injured body. But the deeper we look, the more we see that pain is shaped, magnified, or soothed by the stories our minds tell and the relationships that hold us. This is the paradox of pain. It seems to belong to the body, yet it is born just as much in the mind. I once saw a man whose back pain lingered long after the fracture had healed. The scans were normal, yet the pain stayed. He had lost his job after the accident and felt cut off from friends. The pain became a companion to his fear and loneliness. Modern neuroscience helps us understand why. Pain is not a single wire carrying a message from the body to the brain. It is more like a symphony, a collaboration of nerve signals, immune responses, stress hormones, and above all, the brain's interpretation. When we feel threatened or unsupported, the brain's pain circuits, especially in the anterior cingulate cortex, can amplify even mild sensations. Stress hormones such as cortisol heighten nerve sensitivity while the body's calming chemicals, like endorphins, decline. Brain scans reveal something striking. The same regions that light up when we burn a finger also activate when we experience rejection or heartbreak. The nervous system seems to interpret emotional wounds as physical danger. This is why patients who feel reassured and supported often recover faster, not because their tissues heal more quickly, but because the brain's alarm system quiets down when it senses safety.
Psychology has explored these hidden layers of suffering for decades. Consider the nocebo effect, the opposite of the placebo effect. When people believe that a harmless touch will be painful, their brains can generate real pain signals. Expectation itself becomes part of the injury. Chronic pain often works the same way. Long after the original wound is gone, the brain keeps the alarm on high alert. This is called central sensitization. The nerves in the spinal cord and brain become hypersensitive, like a smoke detector that keeps blaring even after the fire is out. Emotions such as fear, anxiety, and despair act as fuel for this alarm. A person who feels safe and supported may perceive the same pain as tolerable. Someone who feels trapped, unsupported, or invisible may experience it as unbearable. This is also why social pain, the loss of connection, rejection, or grief, can feel physically devastating. The brain doesn't treat it as just feelings, it registers it as danger to survival. Throughout history, philosophers have wrestled with the meaning of suffering. The Stoics observed that pain itself is often less harmful than our fear of it. Epictetus wrote, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." The mind can double the weight of pain by the story it tells about it. Buddhist teaching describes two arrows. The first arrow is the unavoidable pain of life: illness, loss, aging. The second arrow is the suffering we add by resisting, resenting, and replaying the first. Aristotle called humans zoon politikon, social creatures, implying that to suffer alone is to suffer twice. Modern existentialist thinkers remind us that meaning itself can soften suffering. A burden feels lighter when it is carried for a purpose. These ideas do not deny the reality of pain. They remind us that while the body may be wounded, the mind can choose how to respond. Perhaps the deepest paradox of pain is this: What hurts us most is not always the wound itself, but the meaning we give to it. Suffering often eases not when the body is perfectly restored, but when the mind feels safe, heard, and not alone. Pain asks us not just to treat the body, but to listen to the story, to tend to the mind, and to honor the human need for connection. It reminds us that we are not machines made of tissue and bone. We are living beings whose nerves and hearts respond to love, to presence, to meaning. In a way, pain is a language, the body's way of asking for care, the mind's way of asking to be understood. When we numb it without listening, we silence the messenger but not the message. Every person's pain carries a story of loss, of fear, of the need to belong. When that story is met with empathy rather than dismissal, the weight of suffering often grows lighter. This is why science and philosophy converge on a simple truth. Healing is not only the closing of a wound, it is the return of a sense of safety, of connection, of meaning. In the end, pain is not simply an enemy to be defeated. It is a companion on the road of being human, reminding us to slow down, to listen, and to reach for one another.